I wanted to show a few different 65mm prop builds, or frames, I mean, because I have 5 options right here. There's more than that out there. I've already done reviews on a few of them. I know I did a review of the Gnarly FPV Primo 0803 version. I did like 3 or 4 videos on that because that thing was so awesome. And this is pretty much the same thing, but even more awesome because it has a couple of upgrades. But there's also the Airblade Cream Puff Light, which I reviewed, and that is an awesome frame. Actually, I have it right here, or I have one, a kind of broken one right here. So there's 6 options. This shit's crazy, man. It's like once some people start liking something, it just gets out of control, and then it just goes away. So I'm wondering when these are gonna go away, but for now, they're awesome. I think they're awesome. I was building quads like these years ago, but you know, the technology back then wasn't as good as it is now, definitely. So that's why it's so popular right now, because these things are just so small and so powerful that they fly like a bigger quad and you can just take them anywhere. So anyway, you all already know all that. So I just wanted to show a few of these frames. Like I said, I've already reviewed the Cream Puff Light. This is an awesome frame because it takes all types of motors and all types of stacks. You know, you have every option with this frame. I'll get to the Primo in a second. This is the Toothpick, obviously. I think I did review this too. I reviewed a Toothpick. This is the most recent one that I've built using the SPC Maker 1103 8500 kV motors, GE PRC 12 amp flight controller, Runcam Racer Nano, Unify Pro 32 XM Plus. Flies awesome, but I was getting like some weird oscillations. Like if a prop gets bent at all, it'll fly all crazy, like it'll just want to blast off to the sky. It's crazy. So I'm gonna try to work on that. I think it might be because I have the flight controller too tightened down, and it was doing it when I had like a pile of rubber bands wrapped around each arm, which was pulling down on the motor wires, which was in turn pulling down the flight controller. So I think that's what it was. But I took the rubber bands off because I had a friend print me out some of those. There's these really nice battery holders that are for the Toothpick, but they'll fit any frame because they mount, like there's holes for, you know, a whoop style flight controller, so it'll mount here and here, so that'll go on any, I mean, all these frames have that same pattern. So I'll show those. There's actually, those are coming later today, so I might do another video and show those. But it's a really cool battery holder that has those little kind of half circles in them to where you can use a small 300 milliamp hour 2S all the way up to like a 450 or whatever, and everything in between. It'll fit all sizes. It's like self moving or self whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I've covered the Toothpick, covered the Cream Puff Light. I did the Gnarly FPV 0803 version. This, I didn't really review this frame, but I did show it in one that I built recently. Turned out really nice too. It was one that I built with a 16x16 stack and then this type of canopy. You can buy these canopies as well as other canopies, arm protectors, and the actual frame from lildeuce.com. That's LILDEUCE.com. That's where you can pick up this frame. There's like a couple different packages where like one package is the frame, and then you get like this mount, which obviously holds a all-in-one camera, and it does it quite nicely. And this will fit a whoop style flight controller as well as 16x16. And it fits only 9x9 hole pattern motors, I believe. It's kind of a weird motor holes, but yeah, it looks like it's 9x9 only, if I'm not mistaken. And then so one kit you would get the frame, and then this piece and this piece, which I think is a you put like underneath the flight controller so it's separates from the frame. And then there's another kit that comes with where you can mount like a Runcam Nano or something like that, and it holds like a Unify Pro 32 in here, and then that's the same piece. And then this would mount on your stack, like your 16x16 stack, and then your camera would mount right here. And then there's like a little hood that would go over the camera lens like that. And then the other back half of the stack you would mount this to, like that kind of, or like that. I'm not sure what goes in here. I think a LED or a buzzer or something, I don't know. But yeah, pretty cool. Lots of printed stuff you can get for it. I think I'm probably going to use the they call this the Racer canopy. I'm probably going to get one of these. I'll order one off of the Little Deuce website, and probably get the Whoop style flight controller Racer canopy, because it's a little bit lower. This one's pretty tall, but it's meant to hold like the iFlight stack with the VTX, so that's why it's so tall. So yeah, that's the Little Deuce. This one is, I have no idea about the backstory of this. I don't know if it's like Kebab's friend or something, or if it was actually Kebab and somebody else that designed this, but this was designed after the Toothpick. You get it at Pyrodrone, for anybody that doesn't know. Right there, pyro-drone.com. And it's basically like an updated Toothpick. So it has the hole here for the USB, so now you can put your flight controller right side up. So I guess that's that. I really like that it has slots for a battery strap. That's really nice. I just wish that there was somebody out there that would make a decent battery strap that's made for like this size battery, a 452S. Yeah, if it's just like the Toothpick, if it's the Whoop style flight controller, 16x16, slots for a battery strap, hole for the USB if you break the plugs off, and then it has all the same holes. Oh wait, this one looks just like the Pickle one. The Pickle that I had this same design. It had those 3 holes on top and then 2 slots. So it's made to fit, you know, 1103s with the 9x9 pattern, as well as the AMAX motors that have the 3-hole pattern. Okay, enough about that. So that is, I think it's even called a Toothpick. I don't remember, but you can find it on Pyrodrone. Just go to their website, type in Toothpick in the search, and there's just a whole slew of parts and frames and motors and everything. All right, so that's that one. This one is, this is called the Speed Racer Twig. And Brian Graves, he's in a lot of Facebook groups that I'm in. Him and somebody else designed this, and I think it's pretty cool. I will definitely be having more videos on this one, but this is the Twig, and it's made for a Whoop style flight controller, 16x16. I thought it was 20x20, but I guess not. I think it's the 140 size. He has another size too, a 3-inch 140 millimeter, made for like bigger motors that will do 16x16 and 20x20, but this is for a Whoop style flight controller and 16x16. Comes with this little canopy, pretty cool. Nice print too. And this is just like any other Toothpick style. It fits 65 millimeter Whoop style flight controller or whatever. This is the front. I really like this design because it's not just the arms, it's got these braces, and look at this, it's the brace across the front and then straight down the middle, so it's just like it's gonna take impacts really well. I can't wait to build this up and fly it. It looks like, let me see. Nope, you'd have to do it, either break the plugs off or do it upside down. But it fits on there nice. The canopy, I guess if you did it upside down, you wouldn't have access to the USB. You could use this canopy though. But yeah, it's really nice. Nice carbon. It's 2 millimeters thick. It's, I believe, 112 millimeters motor to motor. And this one is cool because it's like the Cream Puff Lite that'll do the smaller motors as well as the bigger ones, so 0803 or 1103. And it's just a cool design. It's different. I like it. So yeah, there'll be more on this one coming up. And I'll show its bigger brother as well. I'm also going to be having a few sets of these to build up for whoever wants to order them. So, but I'll be talking about that on the other video. So there's the Twig, and then the Gnarly FPV Primo, which I love the most out of all the 65 millimeter builds. There I go saying builds again. Just because it's like the most elegant. It's just, the carbon is beautiful, the chamfered edges, all the thought that was put into this to make it so perfect. Nothing was not thought of, and it's just perfect. So I already did the reviews on this one for the 0803 version. This is the 1103 version. I'm using some Hyperlite 1103 8000 kV motors on this. They did update it by adding these antenna tube holders right here, which makes it really nice to mount your antennas. And then they also added 16 by 16 holes for a 16 by 16 stack, and there is enough room to do a 4-in-1 and a flight controller in 16 by 16 and still use the canopy. Yeah, just a beautiful frame. You can do this one right side up on the flight controller, and the motor plugs go off the sides. You got access to your USB just like on the other one. You got the 1-screw battery holder option, and for the same price as any of the other ones, for this you get the frame, the canopy, the flight controller holder that has the inserts in it. It's just so nice. And then you get like 4 battery holder options and a set of props. So yeah, pretty nice. And that's at gnarlyfpv.com, and I'll leave links to each of the places I talked about in the description. So that's about it for now. All right.